Welcome back to Third Eye Weekly. Today we're joined by a very special guest, my own co-host of Scotch and Cinema and host of 20-something Traveler, along with Biology the Blog. She's also a staff writer here at BTR and director of social media. She's basically awesome. This is Jess. Welcome to the show, Jess.
Hi, guys.
So Jess is a travel expert, as we were mentioning. She hosts 20-something Traveler, and she's here to talk to us about 3 of the most mysterious places that one could travel to if they so desired. So tell us a little bit about our first destination.
Okay, our first destination, and perhaps you can, Lisa, you can help me with the pronunciation of this.
Sure.
But I'm going to give it a try. It's Relampago
Relampago?
in Venezuela.
She sounded really certain.
Relampago, we'll go with that.
Good.
So
Not
it's
Venezuela.
in Venezuela. It's in the northwestern corner of Venezuela, and it's this little alcove that's on a lake, and it's very hard to get to. It involves a plane ride and like 5 hours of train and car ride and rickety old like lanes, and it's intense, but it's all worth it because once you get to this lake, it's known for having the most lightning storms of anywhere in the entire world. It has about 255 lightning storms per year.
What?
And not only does it have these crazy lightning storms, the clouds that like grow in the distance and form these lightning storms are these huge, like deep purple and black clouds. So if you've ever seen any pictures of like these really ominous, huge, puffy purple clouds with lightning flashing through them, they were probably taken at this lake in Venezuela. The mysterious part is nobody knows why this area is so prone to lightning storms. They think that it might have something to do with the strange cocktail of like warm air coming from the sea and like cold air coming from the Andes kind of mixing over the lake. But we don't know for sure.
Wow. So it's really beautiful, but I'm
gorgeous.
guessing the scientists aren't exactly jumping to go to this place because it's probably dangerous. I'm
Do
guessing.
people live there?
There's a really small village, permanent village that's maintained, and there's one hotel that you can stay at. I say hotel, but that's a loose term. It's like a hostel. It's nice and it's clean, but you know it does draw a lot of tourists. It's relatively safe to stay there so long as you don't go outside during these magnificent lightning storms. And they actually have at the hostel, they have a huge wraparound porch. And it's customary that on your first night as a guest there, you sit out on the porch and you drink like, I don't know, what do they drink in Venezuela? Some kind of alcoholic cocktail. I don't know why I keep looking at you, Lisa.
My mom's Puerto Rican.
Okay, Mr. Bear. And then you sit out and you watch this lightning show. But I don't know. Thus far, researchers haven't been able to pinpoint exactly what it is. So, act of God, maybe. Electromagnetic fields. Who knows? Aliens.
Aliens.
It remains to be seen.
It would be such a bummer to make the journey all the way out there
Right.
and then be there for that small portion of the year, the 100 days when there's no lightning storms.
It's funny you bring that up because I read an account of a travel blogger that did exactly that. She spent like a month like traveling to this lake and she planned it for like 6 months ahead of time. And she spent 3 nights there. And those were 3 nights that the lightning storm did not happen. Now, it's still beautiful. Like,
Sure.
It's still gorgeous, but she didn't get to see any amazing
man.
I
lightning.
bet that's great for photographers.
Yes.
To capture.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's one of the most picturesque, beautiful places on the planet.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
I'm not in a rush to get there because I'm kind of terrified of lightning.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's like one of my greatest fears. I got caught once when I was hiking in the Swiss Alps in a crazy lightning storm with my mom.
You told me this story.
Yeah, at the top of a mountain far above tree line, and all of our hair was standing on end, and we thought we were gonna die. And we had to like, sprint down this mountain, like slipping and sliding and like twisted ankles. And we got to this shack just above tree line. And I kicked down the door because I was super cool in that moment. And we hid out in this shack until the lightning passed, probably with like all sorts of really poisonous spiders. But at least there was no lightning. We were safe from lightning. So yeah, I've kind of lost my liking for lightning.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah. So what is another mysterious spot that we can travel to?
Another mysterious spot. It is called Magnetic Hill. You can probably guess from its name where I'm going with this. It's It's in New Brunswick. So it was discovered in like the 1940s. And basically what happened was somebody was driving along this hill and they took their foot off the gas, and suddenly their car was seen to like roll backwards up the slope as if pulled by some magnet that was at the top of the hill. Now they didn't experience this sensation, but people that were looking at this car said it looked like it was going up this hill. So for a really long time, everybody supposed there was some crazy magnetic field underneath this hill. And in 2010, this kind of ruins the mystery a little bit, but in 2010, researchers finally proved that there was no magnet under the hill and that, in fact, it was an optical illusion. And the hill, though it appears like it goes uphill, it's actually sloping downhill. And it's all a matter of perspective. Now, there is an equation to prove this.
Here we go.
But I can't recite it. Like, I read it and was like, great, don't understand that. But if you are interested, there is a video called Impossible Motion that you can find on YouTube. And that will demonstrate the effect with these like 4 balls on a slope. It's kind of cool.
Wow.
So it's like not that mysterious, but also kind of really interesting.
Yeah, really interesting.
And like you should still go check it out.
Yeah.
Well, even the facts of physics can be just as mysterious. The relativity of where you are and motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, optical illusions have always been really mysterious to me. Even though you can explain them with logic, I suppose. I think they're mysterious.
And can you imagine that big of an optical illusion taking place right in front of your eyes, so to speak? Like it's like 10 to 20 people can stand at this hill and like watch a car, not just a car, like a train, or not a train, a bus, like big vehicles appear to move backwards up this hill.
That's nuts.
I'm guessing they probably draw a lot of tourists out to that.
Oh
that
yes,
hill.
it is a big tourist spot. And highly recommended. Yes.
So our grand finale brings us to.
So the grand finale is called Skeleton Lake, and it is in India. It's in northern India. I would say the name of the village, but
I don't think Lisa can help you
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard.
My mom's Puerto Rican.
Okay, fair. So it's this Indian village, and right above the village is a lake where, in 1942, a British Forest Service forest guard discovered hundreds and hundreds of human skeletons littered around the lake. And for a long time, it was supposed that they were some kind of like immigrants that never made it to their destination and maybe like perished in really intense weather from exposure. However, they recently carbon dated some of the skeletons, and they date back to like 900 AD. So it's way further back than anybody had been supposing. So what the cause of death is, what they're doing there, who they are, still very mysterious, but none of them have been touched. So if you want to, you can hike to this lake and see hundreds and hundreds of human skeletons.
None of them have been touched?
Nope.
Wow.
Are they preserved in any way?
No, they're not preserved. I don't believe it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site yet, but I think that they're applying to be. But no, it was just sort of forbidden by the village and the state to touch or move them at all, except for scientific research. So there they stay. You can't see them year round. Sometimes they're covered in snow.
Yeah.
But in the warmer months, Skeleton Lake.
So it's
there.
like, are we talking like tons of skeletons?
Like tons. Like if you just Google Skeleton Lake, you'll see images, and there's just bones everywhere around this lake, like skulls, big bones, little bones, everything.
Wow.
Women, children, men.
And no explanation.
And no explanation.
No reason.
I'm going to go with my go-to explanation.
Aliens. Yeah. That's so funny because that's my go-to explanation for everything in life.
Yeah. Seems like a pretty safe bet most of the time.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure that this is the
Any
Matrix.
negative thing that happens.
Or positive.
Or positive.
I don't want to
Really.
just call the aliens negative.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, no.
that might
You-
lead
you
to
wouldn't
some
wanna do
serious
that.
trouble. And you join the skeletons at the lake.
Oh boy. Well, on that note, Jess, thank you so much for joining us on the
My
show.
pleasure.
Thank you.
She's got a great article coming out this week called
Magical Mystery Tours.
Magical Mystery Tour, like the Beatles.
Yes, you guys should all check it out and check out the company because they're awesome.
Yes.